your story resonates with me because I have come from a family of entrepreneurs who were also kind of would fall under that necessity driven, right? I grew up in a small town in Long Island, and a lot of my, extended family had, very small mom and pop type businesses that, drove the growth of our community, right? They were the local deli, or they were a landscaping business, or, you name it. There was all these, small businesses within our community that drove not only the subsistence and living for families, but really were the fabric of our community. And as I've gone through business school and now have my own consulting business, you start to be more familiar with the kind of what I call the unicorn, startups. You hear those big startups, the tech companies that are growing quickly and scaling quickly. And, it's really amazing to see an organization like Helius supporting smaller businesses and those necessity-driven entrepreneurs to have the resources that they need to be successful. And I've been really impressed with the way you structure the program. And so I have obviously a little bit of background in that in terms of the 10-week program they start with and then the ongoing coaching and mentoring. But maybe you could share with our listeners a little bit more about how the structure of the program supports these entrepreneurs.
Great. No, I'd love to. We've done some altering over the 5 years, and we've settled on the way the program works based a lot on Montessori training. And so we do a flipped classroom style. And it is originally it starts with the phase 1, which is this 10-week cohort model. We give them the homework assignment first. The last thing that we want, and I'm sure the last thing students want, is 2 hours of just me giving them a lecture, on a principle of business this week. So instead, we've put together a number of videos and handouts, and they start doing their homework the week before. And then when we come into class, now it's just a discussion. So we talk about the things where they had trouble. We give them opportunities to brag about things that they are doing well. And probably the most important part of the whole cohort model is that they really learn from each other way more than they learn from me. Every problem someone has come up with, someone else in the class has, gone around and figured a way out of it. And so it's been incredible to see that sort of thing happen. So that's the 10-week model where we try to cram 2 years of business school into that 10 weeks. And really, joking aside, what we're trying to do is give them the parts that they need. And then we will spend the next year giving them the extra parts. And so phase 2, and this is one of the parts where you're a part of, for phase 2, we hook up all of our participants once they graduate with a coach, at least one coach from the community. And that coach is there to help them, one, connect with all of the other coaches. No one should be working alone in this, but their real primary purpose is to be the catalyst to help remove whatever obstacles the entrepreneur has. So, we can help them with the general business stuff in that 10 weeks, but eventually they need some specialized help. And not all of it is incredibly technical, but some of it is. And so, and the reason we do that is there have been a number of studies that have shown that people need help outside of the original thing. I call it the Hgtv Syndrome, and I was a victim of this, where you learn this amazing lesson, and in my case, it was taking out half of a wall to put a bar in between the kitchen and the living room, and that's great as long as you follow the instructions and nothing goes wrong. Unfortunately, something went wrong for me, and that was that I found that we had, instead of coming from the ground, we had wires that were coming from the ceiling. Oh, I didn't know what to do about that. That turned out to be and I ended up having to spend a couple $1,000s getting things rerouted and fixed, and that was not what I was considering. Business people go through this a lot. I think if we go through a business training program, we get motivated, we can do it, we get our business plan together and we start operating, something goes wrong and there is no one there to help. And so our program is meant to be there for the next year when anything we taught you, anything you picked up goes wrong. We try to hook you up with mentors from the community outside of our coaches, because that's just as important. We don't need to be your only help. We don't want to be your only help. We will try to facilitate as much help as you need. And our goal is for, at the end of that year, get you earning and paying a fair living wage.